in American history. They want a different kind of politics. They want not just to win an election, but to transform this country. And that is our task. Not just winning an election, but transforming the country. People understand that if we don't change how we do business, that we may be the first generation in a very long time that leaves America in a world that's so poor and so mean than the one that we inherited from our parents. We know what those challenges are. We've got a healthcare system that is broken and that is bankrupting families and bankrupting communities and bankrupting government all across the country. We've got an education system. We have an education system that, despite the smoke and mirrors, is leaving way too many children behind. It left the money behind, and teachers and students and schools are being left behind as a consequence. Not only are our children unable to compete in the global marketplace, but they're unable to understand themselves as global citizens. We know that we've got an energy policy that is the absence of an energy policy. An energy policy that sends $800 million a day to some of the most hostile nations on earth. That leads us to fund both sides of the war on terrorism. And that, in the process, is melting the polar ice caps and fundamentally changing the climate on this planet. We understand that we've got an economy that's never been so good for some folks on Wall Street. But folks on Main Street haven't seen a raise in their wages or their salaries in years. They're struggling with increased costs for their health insurance, if they have health insurance at all. That don't know how they're going to save for their kids' college education. Their children are having a tough time having to figure out not only how they pay for their college education, but how will they ever afford to buy a house and raise a family. That's the reality all across America. People understand it. They're experiencing it on a day-to-day basis. And most of all, people understand that we are in the midst of a war that should have never been authorized and should have never been launched. A war that is costing us billions of dollars. A war that has cost us more than 3,300 of our most precious young men and women. A war that has wounded tens of thousands more. Young men and women not much older than the young men and women who are here today. Who've come back, legs severed, nerves shattered, their lives never to be the same. I meet the mothers and the fathers of these young people every day when I'm campaigning. And each and every day they tell me that this war has to come to a close. Each and every day they ask me, what have these sacrifices been for?